It's the best hits. Cognazo in the mix. Barbicia in the mix. This music's dope. It's dope music, guys. I'm gonna adjust the music volume. That's the original FF4 video. Give me my data. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I did this initial area. Oh Lord. Actually, don't know what they're weak against. Why is this so annoying? Alright, we're gonna see how well this internet holds up. There's a storm coming this way. So, you know, we're doing it. Okay, they're weak against fire. I thought so. What I don't understand is why they're so much faster than me. They just keep attacking. Oh my god. Is that enough? It's not enough. Really gonna have to, like, invest in Faraga. Oh my god. You're gonna kill my dude. The problem is it takes forever for him to cast the black magic in the first place, so it's like... Ay. That's good suppression. We're taking it easy today. Playing RPGs. Playing Final Fantasy, the classic. I don't know that you've ever played any Final Fantasy games, but yeah, this is a very interesting port of this game. Did you ever own a PSP growing up? Was that something that you ever had a chance to enjoy? Because let me tell you, PSP was a very good console. Made by Sony, it's a portable. You know, most people had Game Boys. As they should. I mean, Game Boys are good, right? But let me tell you, sometimes getting a portable system from a different person, a different company, it's valid. You can do it. I don't blame you. I feel like I should probably, like, move my homie. You're popping in and out. You're playing Apex. Yeah. I was gonna play Apex today, but I was like, man, I should probably stream. Because last time I tried streaming, I had a problem with my internet, and I never really tested it again since that issue. And I was like, you know what? I really ought to just go in there, make sure everything works. Play something relaxing. I think I'm gonna put myself up here with the rest of my party. You see where I'm at? on the top right corner. I'm gonna hang out with my party up here. Yeah, there we go. That's what's up. So now I'm up here, people can see where I'm at. Oh my god. The worst part about this cave is the bats. Because they keep sucking my blood. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging out. If you want to lurk, it's fine. I mean, you don't have to necessarily pay attention to me. A lurk is all I really require. You know, hanging out, it's all good, buddy. But yeah, I didn't really feel like hopping on Apex today. I just wanted to play something simple. Test my stream out and make sure the internet's working. So far, so good. I don't want to jinx it. And then, yeah, you know, just play this for a bit. It's been a while since I played an RPG on this stream, so it's kind of nice to play something a bit more, I'm not going to say mindless, because you do have to think about what you're doing, but play something a bit more relaxing. I didn't see what it was. It popped too fast. Storm Anima. What are you weak against? Probably not that. Can you tell me what they're weak against? Is it thunder? I actually don't know. Oh, okay, let's just try fire. 1400. Holy. Oh. Well. I don't have any of that. Why would you be vulnerable to holy? Do I have a holy spell? Even if I did, it would probably cost too much time to do. Yeah. Yeah, we don't got any of that. Ain't got none of those holies on deck. I feel like the issue I'm running into on this game is that the encounter rate is like way too high, which I seem to vaguely remember that was an issue when this game came out, that people complained about that in particular, because these games were kind of short form, not much, you know, there's stuff to go on, happens in them, but it's not like it's a full-fledged game. Because of that, in order to sort of jog up the playtime, they made it so that... Oh shoot. I know this already. They jog up the playtime, they made it last a little bit longer by increasing the amount of battles you do. The problem is you need the levels, right? You have to be leveled up in order to fight bosses and enemies and things. So I should not skip fights, because I need them to make sure that I'm strong enough. The problem is these enemies are so annoying, they just keep attacking multiple times. How are you reading my character? Don't be silly. No weaknesses for myself. That's nice. Good to know. Alright, what did I get? Oh lord. I think these guys are typically weak against ice. Oh, they're just weak in general. Okay. Phoenix down. And there's doors up here. Of course there's doors up here. Brother, I don't... yeah, let's just stop with the bats. The door is transformed into a monster. You're gonna kill him, aren't you? I think you're weak against thunder. Oh, yeah, you're dead. Why did they just straight up kill you? We can do raise, right? Whoa, 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 whoa. No auto. I didn't know selected auto. Alright. Raise, please. Get up! I like Sid's death animation. Okay, well if it's not that, then what is it? Is it ice? You're not weak against ice. Yeah, you're definitely dead though. Surprise. Oh god. Alright, what do you got? 3,400, no weaknesses. Fair enough. You're gonna kill my dudes! No! Jesus. Alright, well what can I do then? That's right, take that hit. Jesus Christ. What? You're kidding me. I'm gonna die. Oh man. He just absorbed fire. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? Jesus Christ. How did you absorb my fire attack? Yeah, I mean, so far it's been so good, guess you love me. I'm not experiencing any weirdness. The issue is that tonight there's a storm going on right now, so yeah, there's a potential for it to just completely... What? What is this guy? Potential for me to lose my internet anyway because of other things going on right now. Oh my god! I can't use fire because he's gonna freaking absorb it entirely. Thunder maybe? He absorbed that too, so I can't use any magic. My guys are about to die. Everyone's dead. Like, I can't actually heal myself in time. Ugh. Can I use ice at least? No. I can't use any elemental spell. It absorbs every elemental spell that I have. This is a problem. Like, legitimately, this is a problem. Can I quake him at least? Ah, that'll do it. Golly, dude, man. I think I can escape. Can I escape? I should be able to teleport. Warps a party out of it. Brother. That's to make me lose my mind over here. Ugh. All that work for that? Horrible. Anyway, what's up, PS? You love me. Fancy seeing you here again. Hopefully you're doing well. Oh my god! I was gonna wait. Can you tell me what you're weak against? Is that too much to ask for? Alright, Sid, tell me what this guy's made of. Nothing? You're about to spit out another dude. Oh, man. Alright, can we quake him? Does that even work? Alright, that'll work. Quake is strong. Good spell. I'll take a spell of Quake. Like, I remember this section in the other game. This is exactly the same, like, layout. He had multiple fights back to back. Oh, he can't do it. Oh, no. I need to use an ether already. Who, me? Why me? Oh my god. How much does Quake cost? Oh, 30, no wonder. Surprise. It's a dragon. I don't think I'm surviving this. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Oh god. I just bring him back and he just literally kills him in one hit. Are you doing like counters? Are you hitting me back because I'm doing a counter? Is that what's going on here? Jesus. I'm missing out on level ups because my dudes keep dying. Why can I... Is it because I'm dead? Is it because I've died? Alright, get up. You're a chump. You keep dying. Oh. Storm Animal and Chimera. Okay. That was barely anything. I almost feel like that was a waste. Brother. Oh my god, I can't run. I got ambushed. Dude. No, that was a waste. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm pretty sure that's a problem on this game. Like, that's by design, and Uma Shuriken. Like, this is meant to be... It's basically DLC, right? Before DLC. And, it's a side story. And I think it has something to do with, like, the length of the game. If I'm not mistaken. It's not a very long game. And because of that, it's, yeah, as you can see, the encounter rate is, like, through the roof. Which was a problem back then, and apparently is still a problem now. Alright, well, you're gonna die anyway, so we're just gonna let you die. Can I kill him before he kills me? Probably not. But we're gonna oh no! We did it! We survived! Heck yeah. Okay, Gaia Hammer obviously goes to Sid. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so then I need to... Am I making money at least? I'm like using up all my items. Which, you know, like normally in Final Fantasy games, you go on ahead. Oh, look at that. There's a zone. The save. I wasn't slacking off. So in the early games, one of these rooms had like a secret area that you could walk through the wall to get to. I want to say they kept that tradition on this version of the game, but I'm not entirely sure because I haven't run into a spot yet. It would be nice. It's saving to the same disk that the game runs. What a clown game, though. Can I, like... I did do this in the original game. Like I was saying, these doors, each one having an encounter, did exist in the original game, for sure. And it was something that I definitely did because sometimes the fights, you know, the rooms held stuff that you want. The problem is, the difference is on this one, is that the items that I've been getting from those rooms have not been, like, all that monumental. So... the experience is good. 10K experience is fantastic. But like you're getting stuff like ethers and shurikens, right? Like stuff I can't really use right now because I don't have Edge on my squad. And it's not I'm finding it's not really worth trying to like bring the homies in there lest they get destroyed. I'm going to pop a tent. I know I just used a bunch of ethers, but I'm gonna go ahead and use magic to revive Porom. Or I would have if I had any. Oh my god. I'm gonna use a Phoenix Down to revive Porom. I should have just bought... a bunch of items. I was trying to save money to like purchase equipment later, but clearly that was the wrong move. I should have been getting ready to fight. Hello, how goes me? Well, hopefully you can see what I'm saying, Durfee. Sonicus Hereditaria. We're back online. I haven't dropped any crazy frames yet, so that's good. We're just hanging in there. We're biding our time. We're destroying the enemy. We're showing him what for. And we're describing the 9th dimension to all who seek refuge. Come on, man. Well, the weather is actually not that good right now. That I can't say is good. Okay, listen to me. Listen. Can I like reset the game? Here, I'm gonna quit the game. But so far so good. I hear storm thundering outside. I don't know that it's gonna mess with my current situation here. But it is storming outside, so I have to mention that. But otherwise everything's going fine, I think. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't know why the warning's in Japanese. I don't think this is the Japanese version of the game, but I guess it is. Everything else is in English. My PSP is definitely not Japanese, I don't think. Oh, it's so bright. I don't know that there's... I think there's a way to do like a soft reset, maybe? Okay, look, listen, they want me to go down there. Can I go down... There's an area that has a rope. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna backtrack, because there was definitely a roped area that went down. This one, right? Same story, right? Can't go down it? Why would you have that there if you can't go down it? I guess the answer is we'll never know. Alright, these guys are easy. We can kill these guys simple. They're not that strong. Oh, that hammer is hard, baby! What games have y'all been playing? How are y'all doing? How are you feeling? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Are you playing any RPGs? Because if you're not, it's okay. Are you playing anything on the Switch 2? Psych, no one's playing the Switch 2, guys! There's no games on it! Oh no! You're not witnessing anything deep at all. This is video games at its finest. Fake that fool. This is an RPG. This is not a strategy game. Oh no, I'm gonna die! Oh, come on, brother. Why does Quake do so much damage? I need that experience. There's no soft reset on this thing, is there? Well, you know, you finished Death Stranding 2, so you're ready for MGS Delta. Were you rushing to finish Death Stranding 2 so that you could play Delta? Is that what was going on here? Yeah, Cecil's died so many freaking times he's still level 37. This is embarrassing. Alright, I have to do it. I gotta reset. Jesus. I can't, man. I can't do it. Just got a GameStop message saying my pre-order is incoming. When does MGS Delta come out? Isn't it like end of the month or something? I debated like picking it up. What do you mean save's coming, brother? I'm not fat. It's not like I'm doing save states. I'm just reloading my save file. Why? Because my items are like friggin' low. I'm playing this on effectively real hardware. So I'm not doing anything you couldn't do in real hardware. And games like, yeah, for some reason you see it. You're watching the game in real time. The encounter rate is like obscenely high for some reason. I know that I can kill that boss without him killing me. It's not even a boss. It's just like it's a stronger than normal enemy. Turn around. But yeah, it's called strategy. There you go. I was gonna say, You weren't rushing Death Stranding to get to the next one, were you? I haven't even bought Death Stranding yet. I could, but I'm not there yet. I spent over FPGA. What you talking about, Willis? Is that Project Katana? Welcome in, Project Katana. Would you stop trying to kill my dude? Yeah, this is a PlayStation TV. This is PlayStation TV. There's no FPGA for anything PSP at all. There's no core at all. Yeah, we're dead. It's over. So here's the deal, there, Sonic. I also spent over 200 hours. I'm just not gonna get this level. This game is, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I don't care. I'm not gonna get the level. They don't want me to level up. They don't want me to win. So to finish my thought on friggin' nah, I'm just gonna. I think I'm almost to the end of the cave anyway, so I'm just gonna use Cecil's heal and call it a day. I spent over 200 hours. I spent over 230 hours on the original Death Stranding, and I enjoyed it, but I did not want to do that again. Particularly because I spent 230 hours on Death Stranding before the DLC came out, right? You know the DLC where like it added the director's cut? It wasn't even a DLC. I spent $10 on that director's cut DLC, and I never even played it. Like I loaded it to make sure it worked, but I never even played it. So when they talked about a sequel to Death Stranding, I'm like, I feel like I've already done this. Now I'm going to assume that you've played Death Stranding 1, probably as much as you played Death Stranding 2. But I don't know. Oh my god. I don't know that it's worth it for me. I understand it's better. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand it's better. But for everything I've been reading, it's been telling me that it's basically just the same as the first game, except more stuff to do. I am not convinced that I could spend another 250 hours or whatever playing the same experience, even if it's quote-unquote better than the first one. That's where I'm at. Is there something unique enough about the sequel that I should consider to convince me to play? I'm not even talking about rushing the game. I'm just saying, is there something in that second game that is considerably different enough from the original that it would be unique, or is it basically more of the same but refined? That's my question. And try not to spoil it. I'm just saying, is it more of the same but refined, or is there something actually unique about that second game that makes it worth playing? That's my question. Thank you. But yeah, this is a PSP. I don't want to quit the game. I'm playing on a PS TV right now. I got the options menu. I got all sorts of stuff going on right now. I'm using the Retro Tink to upscale it, which is why the game looks really nice. It's actually at 4K. But since this is the original PSP, it's a little bit pixelated, but it's okay. I like pixels. I'm a fan of pixels. And what were you saying, PK? Just like you in Dead Rising? Yeah, yeah. They don't want me to wait. They don't want me to win at all. So you don't have any regrets. Okay, so you took all that time and you didn't say to yourself, "Wow, I feel like I've done this before." It was actually unique enough. It wasn't just like innovation. It wasn't just like a sequential innovation, right? Because there's too many sequels out there that are like, the sequel came out. It is objectively better than the original, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend time playing it. There's a lot of sequels out there like that, where like, yes, it is better, it is bigger, it is longer, but at the end of the day, if I've already spent the time and effort to play that, you know, the impact is not going to be there, right? And I'm not saying this is every sequel. Sometimes the sequels are like above and beyond, whatever. But if you're just taking the original concept and sort of tweaking it a bit to make it objectively better than the first game, but not enough for that, like, think Mario Kart. This is Mario Kart World for me. I actually got a chance to play Mario Kart World. It's basically Mario Kart 8, just with a couple of tweaks. I don't feel like I need to play. I'm not missing anything by not purchasing Mario Kart World. That's what I mean. I think it was more of what I was expecting from the first one. So yeah, okay. So what I keep hearing from people, and this is not just you. I keep hearing from people. Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. PS, you love me. What I keep hearing from people is that yes, it's a refined, better version of the first game, but I am not convinced that it's different enough to necessarily purchase right away. I might purchase it eventually. I had fun with the first Death Stranding, but I can't see myself putting, like I said, I can't see myself putting in another 200 plus hours on a game that isn't fundamentally different from the first one. I only have so many hours in this life of mine. I gotta make good use of my time. Did I do it? Hold on, I'm trying to remember if I did that. Okay, I did. Alright, let's keep going. Do you remember this area, PK? Remember this spot? I'm playing the Interlude, which is like a sequel to the original game. And you backtrack on some of the same areas, but it's supposed to be a story that is unique because it introduces new characters eventually. Supposedly. I don't know too much about it. I chose this because this was a game that came out like 20 years ago or something. And it was like, everyone says this game is bad. And I was like, why is it bad? I enjoyed 4. And I'm seeing why. I recommend restarting the same game every day and trying to beat the whole thing in one sitting. Dang, bro. That sounds like speedrunning to me. Listen, I've got nothing against speedrunners. In fact, I respect speedrunners. My problem is I'm old enough now that I could die at any minute. And I'm not just saying that to be like, you know, dark humor or ironic or whatever. I'm saying that like my time and my days are numbered. I only have so many days left in this life. And I would like to seek out and play new things. I have a hard time replaying a game that I've played before. If I know it's a short one and I'm just trying to show it off to people, for example, on stream, right? I can make an exception in that case, but like, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna go back and play a game that I've beaten multiple times. And so, like, for me, speedrunners is like the turbo version of that, where the entire purpose is to play a game to optimize it over and over again. There's just too many games. There's too many games in this world that I can't see myself getting stuck on one for that long. So if a game is going to capture my attention long enough to play it for 200 hours, 300 hours, or whatever, there's got to be a compelling reason to play it. And most of the time when I decide I'm done with it, I'm done. Like, I don't want to go back to it because I've spent my time with it, I've experienced it, I've had my fun, but I got to move on because if, you know, I feel like the FOMO for me, the fear of missing out, is whether or not I'm going to miss some other cool game because I'm spending so much time replaying or doing something that's very similar to what I did before. Oh man, you're dead. To be honest, there are still things I have left to do after endgame, just not unrushed. I like to do that every once in a while. Go back and play a game I liked, but nowadays they are dead. Like, they don't work. You mean the games that you like to go back to? You can't do that? Is that what you're saying? Oh, man. Like, I realize I'm talking about playing sequels and stuff like that, and it's ironic because, like, Final Fantasy IV is my favorite game, and I'm over here playing Final Fantasy IV sequel. But this, for me, hits a little different just because this is a game that... This is one of the games that defined my childhood. I think this is the first RPG I've played, actually. If I really think about it, like the first game that I actually played through to the end, like the first like traditional JRPG, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy IV was the first traditional RPG I played. And it's funny because I didn't even own a Super Nintendo back then. I had a I borrowed this from a friend, actually. I borrowed my friend's Super Nintendo. We traded. I had a Sega Genesis. He borrowed my Sega Genesis, and then I borrowed his Super Nintendo. And he played all my Sega games, and I played Final Fantasy 2, which is Final Fantasy 4, and I'm like, yeah, man. That's what's up. That's what we're doing. Mech Warrior on the original Xbox. Yeah, we gotta play it online, of course. How many hours did you put into Contra? Into Contra? Which Contra? Why are you asking me about Contra? Wait, where'd that come from? I'm lost. What's the context? Didn't I speedrun Contra? No. Oh, you mean from my upload? No, it wasn't. So, did you follow me on YouTube? Is that what happened? There is a reason why why you're bringing it up. So there was an event that me and my friends did. It wasn't a real speedrunning event. It was a I think it was 2014. So that should tell you how long ago it was. We did this a couple times. We did this maybe 2 or 3 times as a friend group. We thought it would be fun. I'm always looking for some excuse to get my friends together and throw theme parties. I don't really do that much anymore because I'm married and I have a kid, and it's just hard to be a bachelor. Thank you. But the thing is, back in 2014, most of us were still like in college, so a lot of my friend group was either just fresh out of college or, you know, young adults, you know, 20 somethings, early 30s, that type of thing. And so one of my friends owns a bunch of arcade machines, and we eventually gave his house the name Gapan, G-A-P-A-N. It was like a mixture of Japan and the first 2 letters of the abbreviation of Georgia, G-A. So Gapan is what we used to call it as a joke. And so we would have Gapan events where we would get together and like play arcade games and just generally just hang out. Sometimes we'll do cookouts and things, just as a friend group. And then every once in a while, I would have the harebrained idea of like throwing parties. So like one year, I did a treasure themed party. We called it Treasure Party. There's actually an old video I uploaded on the internet on my YouTube, Treasure Party Digest, where I was recording a bunch of treasure. Basically, in a nutshell, the Treasure Party was I brought a bunch of my consoles, and I loaded all of the Treasure games I could get my hands on. Treasure being the company that is my favorite games developer. This is their logo. It's one of my emojis. The Treasure logo, right? So Treasure's my favorite game dev. Fun fact. And they made a bunch of games on several consoles. They made games on the Sega Genesis. They started on the Sega Genesis, the Mega Drive for people outside of America. They made a bunch of games. They made a handful of games on Dreamcast. They did some on Nintendo 64. They did some on GameCube, PlayStation 2, Game Boy Advance. I brought all the hardware that I had and used some of my friends' hardware, and I brought copies of all the games that I could get my hands on that they ever made. And so we played Treasure. We all played Treasure games. It was the craziest thing. We had like 20 people in an apartment. We had every single screen that was in there had some Treasure game on it. We had friggin', what's it called? The N64 sequel, Star Successor. What's the name of that? The original game? Sin and Punishment Star Successor on the Wii was new, so I had a Wii copy of that going. I had Wario Land on the GameCube because Treasure made that. I had a Sega Genesis with Gunstar Heroes. We had the N64 in the kitchen. Like, it was nuts. So that was one thing we did, but we didn't live stream it at the time. I recorded a video and did it. Eventually, what we did was a Gapan event, obviously modeled after Games Done Quick, GDQ. I've done 2 runs. The first run I did was a run of Mega Man. The second run was the one where I did Contra Hardcore. The theme was, we weren't, obviously none of us are speedrunners, but we all wanted to showcase a game that we played as kids. That was the intent of the event. And so the game that I chose for that was Contra Hardcore. I practiced maybe for like a week, but Contra Hardcore was one of those games that when I was a kid, I played it a ton. Now, I was never like an expert at it, but I took the time. I looked up some other people's speedruns online, and learned like, okay, this is the best way to play. This is the best character. This is the best strategies you can use for these areas, that type of thing. And so that was my run. It just so happened that run I did of Contra without dying. I didn't on Contra in the American version of Contra Hardcore. When you get hit, you die. In the Japanese version, if you get hit, you lose a life. You have 3 lives in the Japanese version, but if you get hit in American, you die. Like you actually die and have to keep going. So what was impressive about that run that Dorfsonic is bringing up is the fact that I was able to do it without dying. And I wasn't even trying to do that. It just happened that happened that way. Which, trust me, that game is not that easy. People say that game is rough, and I'm inclined to agree with them because of the nature of that game. But I didn't really practice that game a bunch. It was just the theme was everybody would pick a game that they played a lot, and that was the game I played a lot as a kid. So obviously I was familiar with it, and I did my due diligence of learning the game, you know, quote unquote, learning the best way to play the game, so that I could, you know, have a good show. The thing is, my friend who played after me decided to play Super Metroid, and he actually died during his run. He got to Ripley. I'm sorry, Ridley. What's the character? Is it Ripley or Ridley? I don't remember. The dragon boss on Super Metroid, and he died there. And he never, because he thought it was like a, I don't know what he was thinking. He didn't save. He spent 40 minutes getting to that boss. It was doing well, got trashed by the boss, and because he didn't have a save point, he wasn't able to finish because we had to keep the schedule going. So yeah, I always felt bad for him. I was like, why did you do that? Why wouldn't you save? It's not, we weren't trying to speedrun per se, but I guess that's what he thought he was doing. And so yeah, he ended up beefing it. But anyway, yeah, if you guys are interested in watching a 10-year younger me, 11-year younger me on YouTube, I uploaded a Contra Hardcore run on my YouTube channel, and you're more than welcome to watch it, but after the stream. What is it, Cecil? We get to fight the Death Wall. Looks like we'll finally have a foe worthy of the future sage Palome. The wall is coming. Sid, you know about this, bro. You've seen this before. Demon Wall. I don't remember what this guy's weak against. I couldn't see. I couldn't see what it was. I couldn't see. Alright, that's good. No way, dude. Do I know what you're weak against? Miss. Okay, that's why. Do I have the Suna? Get up. What do you keep hitting Sid for? What did he do to you? You keep smacking him. Alright, hit him, hit him, hit him. It's the demon wall. I got one of those in my router. The demon wall? You have a demon wall in your router. Is it like a firewall? I don't understand why Sid is becoming the friggin'... Alright, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna attack. Sid is like becoming the bullet sponge for some reason. Every time he does magic, he just keeps like... Oh lord. Alright, we're gonna Asuna that so it doesn't hurt them. We're getting close. The thing about the demon wall encounter is that once you get close enough, once it gets close enough, each turn it's going to be able to kill you in one hit. So you have to like destroy it by doing enough HP damage. Yeah, it's counteracting. Okay, I see what it's doing. It's counteracting the attack with that paralysis, which basically slows you down. But only when you're doing magic attacks, apparently. I am out. Okay. Can I take your magic from you? Let me sip a little bit for your MP. Sip from the fount of life. Stream has been good? Fantastic, thank you. What? Did you leave no, it didn't have to do with my cables. It was a configuration thing and it was an issue with Twitch. But hopefully it stays good. And I've been paying attention, you know, occasionally to make sure that nothing goofy's happening. And it seems like things have been fine. Like I haven't been losing a bunch of... Heck yeah, there you go. Look at that. Well, that's a cool death effect. Look at that. That's a neat way to kill a boss. That was only worth 5,000 XP? Are you kidding me, dude? Oh, there's a crystal chamber down here? Rydia, what are you doing? Rydia! What were you doing down here? What's she doing here? What a girl. She can even sleep in a place like this? Whack. She's not sleeping, you fool. Rydia, can you hear me? Where am I? You're in the sealed cave. Why didn't you come to Damsian like you were supposed to? I must go. Girl, you better come with us. You looking rough around the edges. No point in dallying here. Let's take her back to the Falcon. Oh yes, at once. Yeah, I could use the help, Rydia. You were much needed. Another summoner would not hurt right now. Oh, you're level 32 though? Oh, brother. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. I'm so mad though. Like, Palom is like the one that's surviving, getting hit with everything. She's like, nah, dog, I'm good. The dark crystal. All right, well, let's get out of here, I guess. Well, actually, that's a good point. What equipment does she have? Okay, she can use that. And then what spells does she have? Can she summon? She's got no summons? What happened to the summons? It's supposed to have like a whole list of summons here. So what's cool in the original game? I don't know if you've ever played Final Fantasy II America, Final Fantasy IV Japan. Rydia, when you first get her, is a little girl. She's a little girl. And then she gets sucked into the land of the summons. That's where all the summons live. And then I guess time flows differently down there. When you catch up with her, she becomes an older girl, like a teenager, like a woman. So time flows. She goes from being like 7 to like the equivalent of an 18-year-old. And so when you get her back in your party, she's actually like, you know, full-grown adult at that point, which is kind of cool. I never understood why they did that. I guess they wanted to... A lot of the history of Final Fantasy is like certain games have class changes or job changes. Final Fantasy 3 had nothing but jobs, right? And that was the entire, like, the characters were not named characters, but they have jobs. So your characters are basically their classes on Final Fantasy 3. And you can change the classes with upgrades and stuff. But on here, they have individual jobs for every character. Like right here, Sid is an engineer, Palom is a black mage, Cecil's a paladin, so on and so forth. But it's not like you can change their job, right? However, they still played around with that idea. Cecil actually starts as a dark knight, and then he has a change of heart after going through a trial, and he becomes a paladin, right? Now, Rydia, the same kind of thing. She starts as a young girl, but then she gets older and she becomes a summoner, like a full-blown summoner. It's an interesting dichotomy, I guess, would be the best way to put that. I'm starting to think that, like, my best move should have been to save the doors for fighting everybody on the way out, because she didn't get any of that experience points. This game is whack, brother. I didn't know I was gonna get her at the end of this. Can I teleport out of here? I thought I could teleport. No warp, nothing? Okay, she can warp. Alright. Yeah, let's just get out of here. I don't want to go through that whole friggin' cave again. You know, these fights aren't so bad. It's the other ones that are, like, goofy. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that! That was a waste of magic! Ah! She can only warp to the previous stage? Okay. This is basically the entrance, right? Okay, it is. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Ambushed. Another trick you could do back on the original version of this game, if you were ambushed, your characters would be facing the wrong way. If you did a quick run, it would turn them around, which means that you take less damage if they do attack you. You're supposed to hold the shoulder buttons to try to run. That's how you run in the original games. And you have to hold it down until your characters are successful. But if you're facing the wrong way and the enemy hits you, they do more damage, right? So, I guess to fix that on this game, they just made it so that nothing can turn. I mean, rather, it turns you around right away, right? Well, you can like do that and undo the turn so you don't take damage. On this game, it's a moot point. All right, well that sucks. I was kind of hoping to make off with some additional experience points, but I guess I guess I just missed out. Clearly. All right, we should be able to get out of here, right? Seal Cave B1. Am I going the right way? Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, oh now all the enemies are turning around. Give me your magic. I need your magic. I don't have any MP. Why are you only taking one? How horrible is that? What's the point of Osmos if I can't actually use it? None of these enemies have magic points? Osmos is an ability that you're supposed to use to like sap the enemy of their magic points. Which lets you, you know, get more ability to attack them, but clearly it ain't doing nothing. Can't believe these guys. It's okay, we're about to get back on the ship. I can probably buy some stuff and get healed up here. Come back, Rydia. Who was calling you? What is going on in your hair, girl? Let's get her out of here. Girl, what's going on? Let's take a rest, please. Let's get our HP back. I know you folks will take care of this in a jiffy. Alright, so let's see. I have money now. How come an elixir's $100,000? Jesus Christ! well, mode 7 is a Super Nintendo mode. Sorry to burst your bubble. Okay, so I can buy both of these. Fairy Rod for this kid. Aura Staff for this kid. Ice Brand is really expensive. Tariffs, brother. And I bought an index finger. Okay, so we're not gonna buy another shield. We might buy a diamond shield. Resistant to that. Oh my god. I'm not made of money, bro. I just like cleared out the entire cave and I should be made of money, but I'm not. I should be made of money, but I'm not. Yeah, so part of the problem is I don't know who I'm going to have in my party moving forward. So I feel like I probably shouldn't like use all my funds. Like I do want to get more armor because I think it's important. But I also don't like want to sell all my stuff. And he's got the ice brand. See, the thing is this, right? Yes, you could just sell your stuff and buy newer things, but since this game is supposed to be kind of short in general, having this stuff. See, I'm also already maxed out. Resistant to ghoul attacks? What does that mean? I might sell some of these cheaper things, but like I don't know how much they're worth. Probably not gonna be worth that much. And what I need is like items, like things to bolster my stuff, because I didn't have nearly enough ethers. And the thing is, they cost 10,000 money. I don't have that much money to freaking buy ether. Phoenix Downs I can buy. My god. Yeah, I don't need any of this crap. A couple tents. I got a couple cottages. A couple tents. Yeah, you see how much an ether costs? Like, it don't make any kind of sense. And it barely gives you any MP back. I'm never gonna buy potions. Potions are kind of a waste of money. And I bought weapons for everybody, so I'm good there. So really all I gotta do at this point is consider what armor I want to purchase. The luminous robe seems like it's good for the problem. Okay, so I guess the question is, what can I give to these guys since they're the front row dudes? So it's gonna be gloves for both of them, and then armlets for the rest of them. That I can afford. And then, do I want to give more to the girls in the back? I don't think I do. So let's equip, optimize for everybody. Not enough space to remove all? Oh, okay, there we go. Why do they do it this way? Okay, so that's better defense at the cost of other stuff. You're gonna wear diamond gloves for sure. The thing is, I don't want to get rid of everything because I know I'm going to have other characters that join my party later that I'm going to want to like adjust their stuff, right? So it seems like getting rid of armor at this point would be foolish because I've got other people that are going to join later and they're going to need items. So yeah. Resistant to ghoul attacks, resistant to fire, resistant to ice, resistant to lightning. Okay, so The question is, do I want to replace the helmet on that guy? I think I do. Well, that's RPGs for you, buddy. Yeah, I think I want the other. I don't even know what a ghoul is. You know what? No. I'm gonna save my money. Lolly ho. Rydia, why is she here? We found her unconscious in the front of the crystal's altar. They're calling. It's not quite mode 7. I mean, the original Final Fantasy IV game had mode 7. Kind of. But this is a PSP game. PSP games don't have mode 7. They just have 3D graphics. Did you see that? I did. See what? I didn't see anything. The Tower of Babel just shone for a moment. The Tower of Babel. Rydia. Shall I set a course for the Tower of Babel, sir? No. No, you shall not. Why would the tower? It's glowing. Could it be some sort of portent? Don't lose your head, Lollyho. So okay. Yes, there's auto equip. The problem is the bottom right. Can you see the bottom right behind the text? It says 44 out of 48. This game started me with so much stuff that the auto equip is not working. It's not actually I don't have enough spaces to remove equipment from my guys in order to swap it in, which I've never seen that happen before, but I guess it's a thing on this version of the game. It looks pretty good considering this is the second game of the, yeah, only in America. This is not the second game. This is the 15th game in the series. Playing Interlude. I'm not playing 4. I'm not playing 4 aka 2. I'm playing Interlude, which is like came out much later. All right, let's go to Tower of Babel. Grab something to hold on to. Welcome in, Vector. Oh, now I'm playing as Edge. Can he equip any of my stuff? Yeah, see? Not enough space to remove all. Is he capable of holding anything that's worth having? Not without losing a bunch of friggin... Okay, so he's good. I might be forced to sell my stuff. Edge is ambidextrous. Oh yeah, that was a thing that they did on this game. Some of the characters are right-handed or left-handed, and that actually affects the damage that they can do. So you had to pay attention. Now, normally organizing your items would be enough to fix that, but you had to pay attention to that. He's got ninja magic, guys. Release fire through ninjutsu. Pins targets and temporarily prevents it from performing any action. Smoke. Mirage. Lightning. And flood. I don't know what's going on with my voice today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm feeling... I hope I'm not sick. That would suck. Alright, so we get to play as Edge. Secret door. I got a Yoichi bull. Armadillo. Edge is one of my favorite guys because he could throw stuff. Ninjutsu. And throwing stuff is very useful. He could throw like literal weapons at enemies and it would do a ton of friggin' damage. Like just an obscene amount of damage. Oh, I got the bow. Like for free? I got the bow for free? Excuse you? Can he even equip it? I don't think he can. It's just a free freaking bow. Skuldier. Vampire Fang. I'm literally gonna run out of item spots, which ain't good. Is there an item I can use to attack all of them? There you go. It did no friggin' damage. What is even the point, brother? I hate this. Those items that do magic spells, they are so freaking worthless on every single stinking version of this game. They don't make any kind of sense. I don't even know. Yeah, apparently they absorbed lightning. I didn't know that was a thing. They are strong against lightning, so good to know. They got healed because they absorbed the lightning attack. They're probably weak against fire. I like how Edge squares up when he's ready to attack and he comes out. He puts his dukes up. he's about to throw down. Watch what happens when I ready up for an attack. he's about to bop him in the face. Okay. Back attack. So I'm guessing these guys are all like lightning based guys. If those bats absorb all that lightning, then that's probably probably a sign that I should not be using lightning attacks. Why is he 6 miles away from that's just Final Fantasy. That's just how Mafia works. You know, back in the day when they didn't have budgets for this kind of thing. You know, budget. Alright. Was that everything in this cave? So I was explaining that earlier. On this game, it doesn't matter because the characters turn around by themselves. When you get back attacked, they swap direction as soon as the fight starts. But on the previous games, yes, that was something that you could do to not negate the damage, but to reduce the amount of damage taken from facing the wrong way. See, you see how they immediately turn around? On the first version of the game, on the original Final Fantasy IV, yes, they would stay looking the wrong way until you hit them for the first time. But on here, they just flip them around, and they do the same. They give you the same courtesy as well, so you avoid damage. You still get hurt, like you still get swapped around, sure, but it doesn't matter as much. So I'm doing it just for fun, but yes, it used to have a tactical advantage. There's an inn down here? What the heck? What is this about? Where am I? Anybody here? Hello? Oh, Vec, I meant to ask you something. Did you mean to, like, make that video visible? I feel like I've seen that video before. Okay, you did? Okay. I think I remember seeing that video before because it was part of the Patreon rewards. And in the video, you were talking about Tekken 8 coming out, so I was like, yeah, this definitely was an older one. Is there any particular reason why you made it visible, or like you're trying to like just share it, or exclusivity period up or something? Re-upload? I'm just curious. I'm always interested in whenever you make moves like that. You testing the algo. Word. That's fair. Did I just get all my health back? I sure did. Anybody here? I'm legitimately gonna run out of item space if I keep getting stuff. Yeah. Twin stars? When equipped by 2 people, the ultimate magic can be used. I'm guessing that belongs to the mages. Does anybody understand the algorithm? Not even the people who created the algorithm understand the algorithm. It's a black box. It's just a black box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Ether. Do you guys say ether or ether? What's your preferred pronunciation of that word? If you say ether, type 1. If you say ether, type 2. Ambushed. I thought making a video visible would keep the upload date the same, but the published date is completely... Yeah, it looked as if it was published that day. The day that it went public is the day that it was published. Which is often why, sometimes, when people release videos early for, like, you know, people unlisted, it'll have a bunch of views and comments that were backdated, and it's like, this looks really weird, why would that happen? And it's simply because it was actually visible to somebody else prior to us getting there, I guess. The only reason why I even brought up ether as a option is because ether kind of reminds me of the word Ethel, like the name Ethel. And they basically are the same word, except one has an R and one has an L. You kind of miss pressure-sensitive PS2 buttons. Well, there is a manufacturer making them still. The Retro Defender line of controllers that are backwards compatible and work with PS2 and PS3, by the way, they make Retro Defender controllers that are analog for the triggers and pressure sensitive for the face buttons. So I bought one to use on my PS2. It works really well. The only problem is that the shoulder buttons on it are entirely too sensitive, to the point where, like, if you breathe on either of the shoulder buttons, it triggers. The company is going to release a revision to the Retro Fighter Defenders for the PS2 that apparently is, like, actually dialed in. All I want to have is the ability to adjust it on my own, but they don't do that. They don't give me a firmware that lets me do that, which sucks. But yes, if you want to play PS2 games the correct way, which honestly there's only so many games that use the face pressure sensitive buttons. The most famous one is Metal Gear, but you could also do it on some racing games and stuff like that. Then yeah, get yourself a Retro Fighter Defender, because that's the thing they have. Ether comes from the Latin aether. Ethel sounds Germanic. You know, I never considered the etymology. I was just looking at the spelling.
Hey, Simon. Yeah!
That's right, yeah. The heck is a basilisk looking like a chameleon? Get my... I was gonna say, let me get my health back, but... I don't think Edge is getting enough experience for this to be worth it for him. It seems like the AE words are getting patched. People are writing aesthetic now. You're really excited about people misspelling a word? You know, there's more important things that you can be excited for. More consequential things. Typos don't have to be one. Words mean something, Vector. You know this better than I do. You're a wordsmith. You use your words. Not in your dimension. Not in your timeline. They're doing the secret cave stuff. All right, I'm gonna make a guess and assume that these guys are weak against fire. Ninjutsu. All right, good enough. I need to figure out my avatar. Because the sock is just stock. Yeah, I was wondering where you got that sock from. You said you paid for VideoTube? Did I commission mine? No, I did not actually. I got permission from the original artist who made the original Dreamcast sketch. It's a guy who does webcomics. He's a really funny guy. His name is Keith Stack. Keith S-T-A-C-K. He makes a lot of comics online, and his recurring characters are two characters that are like lesbians. But he's a gamer. He's a gamer through and through. And for a while, there was a time where he was doing like a count. I forget what he was counting down. He occasionally does countdown comics to some event, maybe something related to Sonic or something like that, and he's like really into it. And one of the comics he did was something along the lines of the topic of the week online was people complaining that their PS3s were dying because the CMOS battery inside the PS3 was dying. I'm sorry, the PS4 was dying. If your CMOS battery died to the point where you weren't like, to the point where you had to replace it, it was such a vital component that it would cause the PS4s to die. It had been far enough from launch that needed to be serviced for some people. And so the comic was effectively a Dreamcast sitting on a table that looks just like my dude, like a puppet eyes and everything, and was saying, "Oh no, guys, my CMOS battery is dead. Oh, I can't play anything. Oh, I'm just kidding. Oh, by the way, what time is it?" Like that was the the punchline. Because the Dreamcast batteries are so notorious for dying, but like it doesn't stop you from playing the game, right? Like that was the whole joke, and it was a single frame joke. And so I actually asked him online, I said, "Hey, do you mind if I use this picture of a Dreamcast as a basis of an avatar?" So he draws most of his comics, I assume, in MS Paint. They have like a very specific quality to them because he uses MS Paint, and I thought it was fantastic. It looked really funny to me. I was like, okay, cool. So I asked for his permission, and he gave me permission, obviously. And then I animated the other parts. So I took what he had as a basis, and then I went in and added the additional frames to get the speaking parts. So like I added the closed eyes, I added the closed tray. The original drawing is the tray open with the eyes on top of it, but the blinking I drew myself, and the way it opens and all that stuff I added to it. So it was his original doodle that I brought to life. I was gonna do more with it. There was a point where I was like legitimately considering making a 3D model, like an actual full-on 3D Dreamcast model with like that would have been used with rigging software to make it work. And I had someone in line that a good friend of mine that I was gonna ask him to like, because he's really good with Blender and stuff, and he's made things like that for other people. I was considering doing that, but he wanted a lot of money. He wanted a lot of money, more money than I was willing to pay at the time, particularly because I think I was out of a job at the time. And yeah, I didn't want to do that, so I was like, well, I appreciate the offer, maybe in the future, you know, that type of thing. So there is still a distinct possibility. Like he always said, if I ever wanted to like get another quote from him, he would, you know, consider it and take the time to do it. But you know, my plan was for like one of my anniversaries was to do this whole dramatic switch from 2D to 3D and be like, you know, this is the future, and then have. But the part of the problem was figuring out how, what I was trying to do on my own. I'm gonna peek behind the curtain a little bit so you guys. I don't normally talk about my Twitch stuff that much in terms of like what I plan to do, but since I'm not gonna be doing this, more than likely I can talk about this freely. I realized a while back that all modern language is the result of people destroying the ancient version. I don't know about destroy. Evolution is probably a better term. I wouldn't say it. We're not necessarily throwing away the old language. We're iterating. What was that phrase? Was it Thomas Jefferson that we stand on the shoulders of giants so that we could see further or something like that? I think that was the sentiment, that standing on the shoulders of people that behind us allow us to see further in the future. Nowadays, I don't feel like that, but you know, it's a nice thought. Anyway, yeah, so my goal was, or my original plan was to go ahead and create a 3D thing, get it going. I was looking into a bunch of, I found scans, at least 2 different examples of a Dreamcast model, like a straight up like actual model of a Dreamcast online that someone had either scanned or Gotetsu, hey yeah. Someone had either scanned or modeled themselves, but I wanted something that was like super simple. I didn't want something that was necessarily like overly complicated, graphically speaking, right? And I did find something, but I was not skilled enough myself to learn Blender to the point where I could animate it, take what was there and use it as a basis to animate it, right? There was a very famous, I'm not gonna say, well, she's famous now. At the time, she was kind of like a freelance 3D person who was like really into Sega stuff. And I asked her for help, and she was like, yeah, I would totally do this for you for free. Because at the time, she was working with Snapchat, right? Snapchat camera. You guys remember Snapchat? There used to be a PC version of Snapchat. This was the original goal. PC version of Snapchat. It's just an application. It uses your camera, but it has the same technology that Snapchat used on your phone. Like all those like face scanning things where you can like apply a 3D model to it. She was willing to take these 3D models that I had found and tweak them. And she even had her own like camera rig. And she was telling me that, yeah, I could totally do this for you. Let me see what I can do, right? And so what she wanted to do was like take a picture, like take a 3D scan of her own Dreamcast. The problem was, because the Dreamcast was so white, it wasn't getting caught nicely or cleanly with her scanning rig, right? And so every time she would do like a rig of it and turn it around and take all the pictures that she needed, it would always end up looking too like funky. Like it would be missing geometry, and she would try to tweak it, but it was like, because it's a mesh, it's super messy. So she wasn't able to do it. And since she was trying to do it for free, because, you know, normally she would charge several $1,000s for that type of work, she's like, yeah, I'll you know, I couldn't really encourage her to do it because I was kind of like relying on her good graces to work on it for me. So that fell through. And then a month later, Snapchat announced that they would be discontinuing usage of the PC app. Yeah, because she's like a professional, right? Like that's what she would normally charge a person looking for a Snapchat filter. It's a Snapchat filter for tracking, custom with mouth movement and eye tracking and all this other stuff. That's what guys and gals in her field charge normally, right? And it's true, because I shopped around, I looked around at the time. But the irony was, and I'm glad I didn't spend it, because like I said, a month later, Snapchat, the company, discontinued their PC app thing. So that wouldn't have been a viable thing. Like they discontinued it to the point where like the app would stop working. So any masks and things that you already had would not work anymore. Like that's how bad it was. So in that case, I kind of dodged a bullet. Yeah, it would have been catastrophic if I had spent that much money. And so, yes, I've looked into different things. The problem is most of those rigging softwares, like there's VTuber ones and there's anime ones, and FaceRig was one of the first ones I looked into. They don't snap the same way that a puppet snaps, right? You see how I'm talking? How my head... Hey, what's up, Jova? Welcome in. Everybody say hi to Jova. Jova and I go way back. You want to say Beatmania? Hold on, I got you. Beatmania! And if you don't feel that, you can say this.
My beat is so bad.
And if you don't feel that, you can say this.
We love pumping music.
And what about this?
I feel so good.
But most importantly, what about...
Somebody say, oh yeah! Beatmania, Beatmania, Beatmania!
Okay, thank you. Anyway, I got it out of my system. The other option was... The default ones are expecting something to look relatively humanoid. I didn't want to do a live 2D model. I actually wanted to do a 3D rig thing. Live 2D is fine, but it would have just been a fancier version of what I have right now, my PNG. And so I wanted to do something 3D. And so there, like I said, that's eventually where I found my other friend who was not charging me thousands of dollars, charging me a more reasonable amount. But again, I would not have been able to justify it at the time because I wasn't working at the time. And also, I wouldn't have, you know, I wasn't really going to be streaming as much. I felt like the amount of money that I could have put into it would have not been worth it because I would not have gotten that much use out of it, right? But after a face rig and all those other options didn't really work the way I was looking into it, my other friend said that yes, there is kind of a way that you could do it. It would have to be a custom thing. He was already like devising ways to make the puppet thing work. And he had gotten pretty close. All he had to do at that point was like actually make the 3D model. But then, you know, at that point I would have had to pay him, right? I think he was being reasonable. Like I could pay him half up front, and then once he's finished with it, we could tweak it, and then whenever I got a final product, I would pay the back half. But, you know, I didn't want to go through with it because again, a lot of money to justify and yada yada. And like I said, maybe someday I'll do a complete rehaul and I'll change my stream layout and all that, but I'm not ready at this point to do that, so. So, no, I mean, I don't have to do a subscription plan, but, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, my homie. My DJ's so bad is my tagline for some sites. Is it really?
My DJ's so bad.
But what about I feel so good?
I feel so good.
What about I'm about to get shot? Alright, well, clearly I gotta use some of these items. Friggin' A. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I have, like, played around with the idea of maybe, like, actually putting the time in to learn Blender. Blender's a free program. It's pretty much... It's very similar to my CAD programs that I use for work. I mean, obviously there's going to be a learning curve with it, right? But then I would have to learn, not only would I have to learn like modeling, which that would be one part of the thing, of the process, I would also have to like actually learn how to rig it and tie it to some program. And then there's a potential that I'll have to pay for that program. But ultimately all that takes time. Is what it boils down to. I didn't know the bomb core kills you. I didn't know that. What was that? The bomb core kills you? That's funny. I guess that makes sense. What kind of nonsense was that? Well, hey, at least I know that that's what it does. That's so funny. That's really funny, actually. I like my DJ so bad because it's like, if you know, you know. But it's also such a bizarre line.
Somebody say, oh yeah!
Do I have any other Bimani references on my soundboard here? As a little sidebar after I blew myself up. Like a dummy. Trying to use up all my items. I mean, listen, I know what a bomb core does. Because I know what a bomb does. But I wasn't expecting to die. I wasn't expecting, like, it does your damage based on your HP, I guess, your max HP. I didn't think it was gonna, like, make me literally kill myself. Like, it's ridiculous. You'll try to, but you got so many Twitch channels I follow. It's also, like, yeah, I mean, I don't try to go late. A lot of times when I do stream, I try to hit, like, you know, I'm gonna be honest with myself, I try to hit, like, 8:39. Problem is I have a kid now. I don't know if you know, I have a child. And on days where he's not spending time with his grandparents, you know, if I do go live during the week, it's usually pretty late my time. It's like 9:30. Today I started at 10, for example, so. But my goal is to, if I'm going to go live, it's like 8 o'clock. And I almost always look at who else is online whenever I'm deciding to go online to make sure I'm not, like, competing with too many people. I'm sure you and I have a lot of the same circles, a lot of the same people. but I don't like to step on people's toes, you know. I don't stream often. At least I don't have a regular schedule. And let me put it that way. But I do try to, if I do try to stream, I usually let people know ahead of time that I'm streaming, for one. And then I don't try to step on other people's toes, because for me, streaming is not like my main... I do it for fun, right? Streaming for me is just for fun. I'm not trying to like earn a living this way. I know some people are a bit more serious about it than I'm particularly looking at it. But that's just how it is, you know. And most of those folks know I stream. If you got furry friends, yeah. That's the thing. All the furries, everybody knows each other. All the homies, man. Bimani for sure. It's so funny to me that you and Bimani are friends. I've known Bimani for years. Like, I've known him since like early college. And it just so happened that I'm going to assume that you met him through the furry connection, right? Because he and I go way back, like way back. Like, I've known him practically 15 years at this point, 15, 20 years. But yeah, you know, streaming is just for fun. For me, it's really an excuse to hang out with friends. If no one shows up, you know, I'll be honest, I'll be sad if no one shows up. But for the most part, you know, I can rely on the people that I hang out with to come by. And people like Vector and people like PS Love Me and Durf Sonic, you know, the folks that are in here right now. And of course, if there's people just popping in just to say hey or just to lurk, that's fine too. But for me, it's not, you know, I'm not trying to become famous on here. I'm not trying to earn a bunch of money. I just want to hang out with people and play cool games. And every once in a while, I have like, oh, this is something special I want to show off. So check this out. Let me set this up. And then that's what we're off to the races at that point, you know. It's probably through a con in a game room that I met him. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think so. I think games are fun. Maybe not everybody in the chat thinks games are fun, but you know, games are fun. Hey Cyber, I kind of wish I had a place I could post when I want to stream. There are times I do. Well, the fact that you worded it that way makes me think that you don't have any type of social media, Duel. Is that accurate? I'm guessing you don't have anywhere to post up. Is that the implication with that statement? I'm gonna start a subscription list. So here's what I do. If I'm trying to plan a stream for like where I want a bunch of people to show up, I'll go into all the Discords I'm a member of in, and I'll post in the self-promo channel if there is one. Self-promo, it's very important. You don't want to be posting in general, you don't want to be posting like in the regular chat. If there's a channel for self-promo, I'll post it in there. That's rule number one. Etiquette, you know, you don't want people to hate you before they even choose to give you a chance to come in, right? So that's the first thing. Did I get the other accessory? Then I use my regular I did, okay. Then I use my regular things. I put icons of both, you know, I probably need to update these because I still have the old Twitter bird. But like my name is Cyber and I'm on Twitter and I'm on Twitch, right? Obviously, if you're on here. I probably should have like a YouTube thing and a Blue Sky thing, right? So if you've got those social media, you can post it there, assuming that you want to do that. Now, I have different social media for different purposes. So you just said that you have your IRL friends. You know, I have my Twitter feed that I'm keeping around right now, mainly because of Japanese people. That's Japanese people and gaming stuff. I should stick with the Twitter bird? Okay, I'll do that. I post up there because I've just had, that's an account that I've had forever, right? And then the Blue Sky, I use that as well. Gotta update to the X, the X the everything app. Oh my god. Boo! Boo!
You've been chosen.
You've been stream lazy, but also need to figure out the avatar thing. Well, yeah, that's how this whole conversation started, Durf Sonic. We were talking about avatars and stuff. I kind of went on a huge tangent, didn't I? Talking about 3D avatars and models and stuff. But yeah, Discord first, then online. Oh, Tower of Babel, that's the back route. Okay, so there's definitely a treasure chest I missed that I did not pick up, so can I get that from here? Or is that like a spot that I need to go somewhere else? I think I missed a spot. It's okay, we don't have to fight that. Set up the tip jar? Oh god. The idea is just keep those ideas coming, guys. But yeah, ultimately, social media, Discord channels where it's allowed. If there's no self-promo channel in a Discord that I'm in, there's sometimes like a video share. If you're gonna use the video share channel, you need to post the moment that you go live in that one, because that will mean you're basically sharing a live video, which is not against the rules in a lot of those places. And then you can go live. But yeah, like the biggest thing about you're doing it already, Duel. The biggest thing about, and in fact, you know what? Hold on. Can I do that? Am I able to do that? Can I even do that? Everybody is in here. If you're feeling cool, then you want to follow Duel. There you go. They last played games and demos. I even have a clip for you. Look at you. Look at you. I think the best way to create at least the starting point of a viewership, you're already doing it. You're hanging out on people's streams. You're making friends with folks. You're following folks. You're talking to people. You're getting to know the people. Hopefully you well, hey man, I didn't put it there, but it's a random clip. You know, introduce yourself to people, talk to folks. Oh, I got another bomb core. Oh god, I need to stay far away from those. Don't touch this stuff. Anyway, yeah, like that's what you're doing, right? Especially, particularly like if you don't have any type of social media presence that you want to share with, then yeah, you just gotta you gotta make yourself known. You gotta make yourself visible. You gotta like Jova just said it a minute ago. Jova said like he doesn't really stream all that much, but he hangs out with a group of people, a particular group of people. In his case, is the furry community, and those guys, man, they're tight as glue. They help each other out. They support each other. They help each other with viewership. Like it's great. Like it's fantastic. Like that's the type of community that you need to like work towards. If that's important to you, let me preface this by saying if that is important to you. If it's not important to you and it's not, oh my gosh, you got cheek. Yo, she's caked up, brother. She's caked up. Look at this. Look at them booty cheeks. How are you gonna have a snake bottom and still have butt cheeks? That don't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. That's that horny fan art. Final Fantasy fan art. Yeah, and I wasn't gonna say I was gonna say names, but Vector brings up a good point. That Yusuf, for example, he wants to grow a stream, but he refuses to do the things that you would normally want to do if you're gonna grow your stream. My goal, and you know, I recently changed my title. We're talking about video game literacy, right? I'm trying to be an advocate for video game literacy. I've been over it a couple times on the stream already, but my goal is to encourage folks to play different games at the end of the day. Like, and there's more to it than that, but that's the big picture. I want you to try different games. So the games that I play on my stream, I mean, I hate to say it, right? Like this game is different enough from stuff that's coming out nowadays. It looks dated, it looks retro, it's different from what it used to be, but like this, believe it or not, is the basis of a lot of games that came after it, right? It's about learning about game tropes, even if they're dated or hackneyed or old or whatever. But knowing about it and trying games out like this is a good thing for you, the gamer, because then you get exposed to, oh my god, Stone Golem? You get exposed to different stuff, right? I don't know what to do here. Is this gonna make me mad? It's gonna raise my attack, right? These guys don't even hurt me. Why am I fighting these enemies all of a sudden? Okay, yeah, it put me in berserk mode. PSTV, or Vita TV. They were the same, right? I think so, yeah. Sorry, he's dead now. I gained a level though. Okay, we're gonna save here. I'm gonna go ahead and use a tent because I got them. Don't just stand, don't just stand, just stand. Go berserk. Just assuming people who know you will support you by default is a dead end. What are you actually offering them besides your acquaintance? So yeah, Vector brings up another good point. You're not supposed to assume that people will show up. If people show up to your stream, it's because they are... Anybody that's in your stream is there presumably because they either like you, the streamer, or they're interested in the game that you're playing or the thing that you're doing, okay? But no one is owed that time. So understanding that if someone is hanging out with you in your stream, they are making the concerted effort to be there. Whether it means that they're just lurking to help your viewer count, or they want to be in there to talk to you about something. So that's how I try to look at it. I am thankful for anybody who's here at all, because I understand that you could be anywhere else right now. You don't have to be in this chat room if you don't want to be, but you are. You're making the choice to be here. And so understanding that you should be thankful for them giving their time. And the other way that I like to look at it is like, if you were in a physical room, how many viewers does Twitch say is in here right now? Let's see, like 6 people or something like that. If you were in a room with 6 other people, that's a full room of people, right? It might not be big in internet terms. It might not be big in like, oh, my stream, I usually stream to 30 people or whatever. The fact of the matter is, if you've got 6 people in a room, that's a party, right? Like, that's huge. That's how you should look at it. You're entertaining a group of folks that are there with you, and hopefully you're having a conversation, or they're just enjoying your company, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like this long drawn out thing. So the number one thing about streaming that I try to like encourage people to do is just do it because you want to do it. You know, you shouldn't just do it out of habit or out of like some sense of like, I'm obligated to do this. It's not a job, right? Streaming for me is what I do to like blow off steam, but it's also to talk to you guys. Like, I enjoy talking to you guys. It's fun. I get to wax poetic about whatever is on my mind at the time, right? And like, that's the cool thing about this. It's a social thing. Like, it's a social activity. And if folks are there with you, yeah, you're playing a game or whatever, or you're doing something, but the fact of the matter is, you should engage with the people that are in there, because those are the guys that are there spending time with you, right? So just, treat it like it's something that you want to do. Even if there's no one in the room at all with you, if you're doing it, you want to do it. And then also remember that the people that are there with you they're spending time out of their day to be there with you, those are the two like biggest things. If you become famous, in the event that you become so famous and whatever, people show up from miles and miles to come watch your stream just because you're the big guy on the block, great, fantastic. More power to you. That's never been my goal, and I don't want to encourage people to do that. I know that some people are growth driven. I know some people want to prove a point that they want to have the largest reach or whatever. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're going to put time into it, it's got to be, you're the first person that's important, and then of course the people that you're broadcasting to are equally as important, right? You gotta keep your priorities straight, and that's all I have to say about that. Wrong sound effect. Thank you. So yeah, you shouldn't feel. Vector's kind of touching on it. If just because a friend or a viewer doesn't show up to every one of your streams doesn't mean that they don't care about you, right? They might be busy. They have lives too. Like that's the big picture thing. Now, of course, if someone asks me, "Hey, can you be at my stream?" I'll make an effort, especially if it's a person I respect and care about. I'll make an effort to show up, but I'm not gonna, if I can't make it to every single stream of yours, don't hold it against me. People got lives. I'll try to be there as best as I can. I appreciate that, Cyber. These are things I know, but you need to be reminded. Okay, well, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help be a sounding board for you. And the fact of the matter is, oh my god, what the heck is that? I knew it. What did he do? He found a secret entrance to the Tower of Babel. Someone's been here. You missed a lot of streams? It's okay. Don't feel bad. There will be more streams in the future. Let's unmask these bastards once and for all. Alright, Edge broke in, got a bunch of stuff. Now, am I going to go back to the original party? Am I going to meet up with Edge in the tower? Alright, here we go. Sid, please stay here. I need to make room for Edge when I find him in the tower. We need you on the Falcon and get ready to support us should things go ill. You can count on me. Alright, cool. I gave him a bunch of armor and now he's got all my stuff. Funny thing lately, I keep getting gifted subs to streams I must have been rated into. So yeah, I don't love how that works, if I'm gonna be honest. It's not ideal. But yes, I know what you mean. Let me move these fools around. I'm like, who is this? So the way that I gather that Twitch works is that it's based on who you spend time to, whose stream you spend time in recently, if that makes sense. Not enough space. If I had known I was gonna lose him, I wouldn't have gave him all that equipment. Man, he's got all my equipment. Oh no, did he give it up? No, he definitely has my stuff. Jesus Christ. But yeah, if you've been in there recently, then you'll get a sub. You'll have a higher chance of getting a sub. You won't always get a sub, but you'll have a higher chance of getting one. Not everyone can be at all. Yeah, exactly. You should never feel obligated. Plus, like, depending on how many people you follow, you might have 10 streamers you follow streaming at the same time, for example. Yes, that happens to me from time to time, and it sucks. But there's not, you just gotta pick your battles and support the friends that you can, and if you want to watch somebody on Twitch, that's what you're there for, right? It's a social website. You gotta help each other out. Do what you can, but don't feel like, you can't be everyone. You can't be everything to everyone, right? I wish you could, but it doesn't work that way. So at the same time, people who spend a lot of time watching other people instead of you, that helps you identify your, well, I don't know about all that, Vector. Again, people are choosy with who they want to be hanging out with. Again, don't blame the viewer for not being there. I was about to say blame yourself or God, but that would have been that's the kind of belabors my point. My whole point is that if you're doing it, you got to do it for the right reasons. You got to do it for yourself. Don't do it for other people. All that said, I was thinking of streaming tomorrow afternoon. You meant Friday? Yeah, I mean, you tell me what. You send me a message, actually, Duel. You have my Discord, so just send me a message if you're going live. Jova says, I disagree. I only end up watching my best friend stream when I can, because I do so many other things with them, but only interact with some streamers on their stream. Will we both consider each other best friends? Yeah, Jova's got a good head on his shoulders. I do wish YouTube streaming was more popular. I do like that platform more. Yeah, technically speaking, YouTube is like superior in almost every way. In terms of feature set and everything else. But the problem with YouTube is that when you're on YouTube, you're competing with YouTube. You're competing with billions of videos, billions of hours of video. And it's kind of hard to compete that. Like, why would I watch a live stream on YouTube when I can just watch a thing? And like, why would I watch a live stream when I can just watch a thing on YouTube? I'm not doing no bomb. That's ridiculous. Releases all allies from sleep. Okay. This is what I thought I had. I thought I had a bomb fragment. I got messed up. I seem to avoid streams that are overpopulated. You know what? That's fine. If they got a huge group of people in there, then don't go in there. It's not a big deal. Like, your choice is your choice. Agree or disagree? YouTube streaming looks like it blows. What's the moderation tools? That's the thing about YouTube. From a technical side, YouTube has better support for higher resolution streams. It has higher quality bandwidth things that Twitch does. But it's missing, like you've so expertly noted, all the cool social stuff. It does have moderation tools, but it's very limited. Like, they're super bare bones, and they do have things like channel emotes and stuff like that. But you have to, like, their whole system of like monetization is like super convoluted. But if you're talking about just pure, like, the quality of my stream will look better on YouTube, it's built in, it's great. But that's why I encourage people to use Twitch, at least for as long as Twitch is going to last, because I don't know how long Twitch is going to last. Twitch has the better social side of it, right? Because you can raid. Like, that's the biggest thing you can do on Twitch right now is raid somebody. That's huge for engagement, for sending people to other places. Now, whether or not raiding is effective is a different story. But raiding is a great way to bring people from point A to point B. And even though technically speaking, you can do collaborative streams already, regardless of your platform, the fact that Twitch has actually implemented it and built it into their systems is great. Like, the whole knocking on the door thing where you can collab, like that has encouraged people to do that. And you can share chat, which is kind of cool. Like, you can combine your chat with someone else's chat. Those are the types of things that are kind of neat that YouTube doesn't offer. It's just, the thing is, if you're on YouTube, you kind of already have to have a presence on YouTube, I think, in order to make the most of it. And even then, even if you do have a popular channel, there's no guarantee that someone's going to sit there and watch you on YouTube. You know, nor do you want, maybe you don't necessarily want someone to be on YouTube watching you. There's a couple people in my chat right now that have pretty big followings on YouTube, but I would think that they're not actually wanting to stream on there because of various reasons, right? I'm not gonna speak for them. I'm just assuming, but it's pretty obvious that what problems YouTube has. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You're not wrong, but makeup on a turn is still a turd. Oh yeah, of course. If you can help it, don't just end stream without a raid. You got an audience, share it with someone, and some folks in there don't know who you might follow. And that's the thing, like, people I've raided in the past, I've actually found, I made new friends that way, you know? I'm pretty sure that's how I met Yusuf. It was through a raid of a friend that I already knew in real life. And now Yusuf is part of this big group of people that we all, you know, talk to and engage with, and that would have never happened if we didn't have that cross-pollination. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's awesome. That's ultimately the point I'm trying to make. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You know, it is what it is. YouTube is more like a gem covered in poo-poo, if you know my meaning. I do. When it comes to streaming. Speaking of YouTube, never take advice from someone who has less subscribers than you. In this case, followers. I don't know about all that. I got a bunch of followers on YouTube, but I got them because I posted one video. I posted one video on there that got like over 1 million views, and it wasn't even my video, and so most of my YouTube subscribers are just people that followed me because of that one video. I'm not sure if the metric always works that way. I don't know if I can agree with that, like, at face value. Numbers don't always mean everything. And of course, I mean, it doesn't happen nearly as much anymore, but there are people who like kind of cheat the system and pay for followers, which I've never understood why you want to do that. Like, what's the point? But some people care about that, I guess. And yeah, it's not ideal, but it does happen. My friend Shman rated Omni, and that's how I met Cyber. You know what? Very true. We found shared appreciation in those types of games, and now we're homies. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Vec, is that like when you relationship advice from that one friend who's always single? Hey, yo, girl. Yeah, yo, this girl. You just gotta get in there. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta get in there. Girls like it when you feed them ice cream. Have you thought about feeding them ice cream? Because if you didn't, oh no! Oh no! Hold on, hold on. I want to quit the game. I messed up. I forgot to change out her arrows. She got those mad busted arrows, and I don't want to use those. I don't want to waste them. Yes, we're playing on a PlayStation television. This is real hardware. Jova, I forgot to mention, like, my whole shtick, the thing that I try to stick to, is playing games on their original hardware. So I'm playing this on a PlayStation TV. I'm not emulating it. I could emulate it, right? That could be something I'm doing. But my goal is to play anything that I play. If I can help it, I'll play it on original hardware. I've made exceptions for arcade games. Like I did a Sega Model 2 stream once. Obviously, I don't have any Model 2 arcade hardware. I do have a DDR machine, but that's not, that's neither here nor there. So I have to emulate that. But generally speaking, if I play something, I'm going to use real hardware. So this is my contribution. This is my penance. I must do this. I think it's a better experience if I can play the game on the original hardware, for one. And then, yeah, okay, you're gonna want to use Yoichi arrow. I'm not gonna waste all my busted arrows. I'll use the weaker ones and switch later. And I think the games play better when they're real, Sometimes I think back to a friend's stream. I'm not gonna name any names. Don't name any names if you know who I'm talking about, please. But there's a friend of mine who once decided that he was going to stream the Xeno series of games. The Xeno series. You know the ones. And he was emulating it. And it was some of the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, but the fact that he still insisted on playing on this game on such a poorly emulated system was incredible, to say the least. The game was literally it was, oh my god, this is so cool. The game was literally running at like 12 frames per second. All sorts of crazy audio glitches, like just nonsensical. But he did it. He beat the game that way. And that's when I vowed I'm never going to do that. I'm always going to use real hardware whenever I can. Holy crap. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, come back. Yeah, it was eye-opening, to say the least. Yeah, it was incredible. It was a feat. I don't know how anybody could have the patience to do that, but he did it. TotallyLegitGameCopies.com. Couponbug.com. I like casting Meteor. This is so cool. Come on, cast it. There it is. Whee! So the only reason why I'm casting this spell in particular is because I found those two accessories, which are clearly meant for these two. When I was playing as Edge, he found the Twin Stars. Which description it says, when equipped by two people, the ultimate magic can be used. So, I guess that was a secret, that if you found those 2 particular items with edge, you'll have them in your inventory when you swap to the other party, and then now the twins can do their magic attack whenever you do twin cast. So there you go. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Isn't that cool? Also, isn't that cool? I do have stuff I could play on original hardware, but my living space where I stream wouldn't let me put the hardware anywhere. So yeah, I feel that. It would be nice if I could just have all my stuff hooked up all the time. But I understand that's not doable. In my case in particular, it's not doable because I just don't have the space for it, right? So I do have a lot of stuff in storage, and I swap stuff in and out whenever I wanna do it. But some of the things that I keep up basically all the time are my what's his face? What am I thinking of? My RetroTink. I have a RetroTink 4K. I use that for upscaling because it's like a general, like, all-purpose tool that I use for all my stuff. My smaller consoles, I have a PS2. It's a modded slim PS2, but I call it an ultra slim. Somebody figured out a way to like cut a PS2 slim in half by removing the disk drive and replacing it with like a SD card type. Oh wait, I can't do fire. So that's cool, right? And then of course the PSTV, which are very small. And then whenever I want to swap out to like other things, I've got like my Dreamcast in storage. I have a Sega Saturn in storage. I do have a Mister hooked up. So that's cool. But yeah, pretty normal, middle of the road stuff. But yeah, no, I understand the struggle. Like, not having space is a real problem. It would be great. Like, I've seen photos of some people's setups where like they have like all their freaking consoles hooked up, and it's just like, yeah, I would do that, but I don't have the room for it. So, oh my god. All right, Joba, thanks, man. Appreciate you hanging out, man. I do appreciate the company. Hopefully, I'll catch you some other time. I'm pretty sure I'm following you. Let me verify that I'm following you. I think I am. All right, I am now currently following you. We'll go ahead and give Jova a shout out too. Let's see if there's any cool clips there. Oh, there you go. So I'm following you. Next time you go live, I'll hop in there, see what's going on.
Try flicking it at my.
Ooh, what's this?
Right here.
Oh, well, we're gonna use the.
Try flicking it at. No, try flicking the marble. No, not the dude. Not the dude.
What the heck is this game?
There you go. Okay, I meant the marble.
What is that?
Try flicking the marble
what
at
am I looking
my
at?
person, at my goalie. Try move your dude. Get him stand up. He's drunk.
Well, there you go. It's me and my friend messing around at, oh, tabletop simulator. Okay, that makes sense. Turning a PS2 into a cartridge console. Yeah, and so that's how it works, Duel. Well, I guess we'll just have to follow you and find out what it's like in the future, so we can see what it's see what's doing. Let's see what's doing. You just found out there's a Segway bike named after me? Are you serious? Are you being serious? Don't tell me this. I like what Cyber said. If there are particular people you want at your streams, it shouldn't be a big deal to reach out to them directly. Absolutely. Yeah, do that. If it's someone you're comfortable with and you know you're talking to them anyway, just go ahead and say, hey, come on in. Invite them. Ain't nothing better than being invited to something. Even if they don't show up or they say they can't make it, you've made the effort and it's on them, right? Invite your folks that you care about. I like that sentiment. That's a good sentiment to me. I basically do the same thing. I put out an invite, but I also post in particular Discords where people are that I like to hang out with, so I guess just to play games with some friends. I don't mind I don't have what it takes to keep up with getting affiliate. Affiliate is a good goal to go for, but it shouldn't be, you know, if you get it, you get it. It's like one of those things is like, it'll happen if it happens. I wouldn't be too worried about trying to get affiliate if, you know, if you're going to do it, go all out, you know, get those, anyway, Jova, if you have to head out, please don't let me hold you back, by the way. I know you said you have to go, so I don't want to like keep you here, but Please, yeah, I'm following you and I have notifications turned on, so next time you go live, I'll try to hop in there. Gonna try and beat TM2 tomorrow. Awesome. Alright, good night. Thank you. You love text-to-speech, by the way. Use it all the time, including developing my own board game. Text-to-speech, tabletop simulator. Very funny, very funny. Spooky, that's ridiculous. I need you to send me a picture of what it looks like on Discord, okay? I had to think about what he said for a second. I got that Turtles game from that Platinum made. It's on your back. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is that game any good? Have you played it? Is that a game that we should play? I want to see it. I did see it. I don't know if it was any good though. I should do more damage, right? Okay, I figured as much. Yeah, well, just because it's a platinum game doesn't... Oh no! Failed! You freaking magic blocked me. You suck. Can't believe you. That's not even what I wanted to do. No, I just healed you. I picked the wrong magic spell. Jesus Christ. I think it's one of those games that really shines with co-op. Yeah, you're probably right. Most Turtles games are good when they're co-op games. I thought I did Faraga. Okay, wake up. Can I twin cast now, please? Don't block me. Sleeping? Okay, fine. That's fine. Did any of you ever see that Turtles game that got made recently and got put in arcades? I remember seeing it at a CC's Pizza of all places. Do y'all have CC's Pizza? My question is twofold. Have you seen the new arcade Turtles game that came out within like a couple years ago? And then have you seen it at a CC's Pizza? No and no. So there's a new arcade Turtles game. It's made by like the same people who do like all those whatchamacallits. Like they made like new versions of racing games, like those Fast and Furious racing games that kind of look like Cruis'n USA and stuff. And they made a Turtles game. It's a beat 'em up. It's a 3D game. It's kind of like in the same vein as those old Konami games, but they're not nearly as good, obviously. Summon. Rydia? I got Shiba. Let's go. Okay, so she can finally summon. Alright, I'm gonna go back to heal up. Can I teleport out of here? Can I warp out of here? Okay, I'm just gonna have to walk out. Alright, that's fine. I'm gonna walk it out. I don't know why all my dudes are comatose now. They're all acting like they can't, like, talk. Should I try doing Shiba? Shiba me Timbers? To see what it looks like. She looks like a clown in this game. Why does she look so goofy? Oh no. Comatose. You know, I do have a friend that calls himself Sponge. Hey Zyber, I had some lollies for lunch the other day. They were amazing. That's a real corny joke. Yeah, hey, yeah. There you go. Great minds think alike. Alright, I spent a lot of time, like, fighting those fools. Let me go ahead and heal up. I can't fight this feeling anymore. It's a fun way to find out if your audience knows Spanish, if they know what maíz is. You know, it's pronounced maíz in Spanish, right? People in America, they call it maize. But it's really, we're saying maíz. Like, that's how you say that in Spanish. Green beret. The heck? Who wears this? Cap full of magic power. No cap, brother. Okay. Put on my wizard hat. Do I really want to lose that much magic defense wearing that stupid thing? Sage's Miter. That's a lot. That doesn't do anything for me. Okay, maybe this guy gets a boost, but you know what? Do I want to do that? Okay, it might be worth it for him. We'll do that. That's fine. I learned my Spanish in Arizona. Did you really? Is that where you grew up? I thought you wait, what? Are you serious? Spanglish. Spanish is Spanish. Is Spanish. Now you're just saying words now. You're saying words and phrases. Did you grow up in Arizona or something? I don't think I've ever asked you that question. I wasn't familiar with your game. Oh god. Why is bullying such a high thing on there? From Wyoming, but spent my teen years and then some in the Phoenix area. Really? You were in Phoenix, Arizona, huh? You probably were near Omni Boy at the time. Omni grew up in Arizona before he moved to California, actually, so that's kind of interesting. Ooh, a ribbon? This early in the game? At this time of day? At this corner of the galaxy? Ribbon is like endgame stuff. Alright. Yeah, I'll take an item that protects against every status effect, why not? Kiku Ichimonji. I never knew how to pronounce that when I was younger. Katana with a chrysanthemum mark engraved on its sheath. So Vector is currently the guy who has the most Japanese knowledge. Are you familiar with the lore or the establishment of this particular sword, this blade, this Kiku Ichimonji? Because I've seen this in the Final Fantasy games and I've never really questioned it. I just thought to myself, this is a Japanese katana. Is this based on some sort of real life equivalent? Are you familiar with anything like that? 95 through 2008 with a couple years back in Wyoming toward the end. I would not be surprised if you were living there at the same time that Omni was living there, actually. It's kind of interesting. Small world, man. Small world. Holy crap! Yeah. Well, the chrysanthemum is the symbol of the Emperor. That's about all I know. Thank you for that contribution. Appreciate you, appreciate you. I guess I didn't really need to do all that. These guys are kind of weak. Ghost Knight. Roadhouse. Reflect. Get out of here with that. I watched the movie Novocaine today. It wasn't bad. All I've been hearing about lately is that one movie, Weapons. You know Weapons? Y'all seen Weapons? Oh no! Poison in Bio. Oh god, that's a lot of health. Is it good? Is it worth watching? No, I have not. I only watch movies after they're out of theaters. Well, you know, that's fine. You can do that. I get that. Like, some theaters are kind of, like, lame nowadays. Was it good? Is that the $10 question? Did you spend $10 to watch that movie? Holy crap. It was Discount Tuesday. It was Matinee Monday. Alright, nothing else in there. Alright, I guess we're gonna move to the next area. Another boss? Another boss. Green dragon? No, what is, oh my god. Alright, we're just gonna twin cast all day. I don't know what you're weak against, so I'm not going to risk doing a bunch of damage. Do you absorb Blizzard? You do not. Okay. Which means I can swap to that sword. It's probably stronger. Shiba. Anyway, Kiku means chrysanthemum. There's a whole history about Kiku Ichimonji. It's on Wikipedia. I didn't know if you knew something like it was based on, if it was based, you know what I'm saying? Classic. I didn't know if you knew something inherently, like if you had in your studies, if you had run across it before or something. Classics.
I got classics.
I know that you're a scholar in Japanese literature, so that's why I ask you. That's why I come to you. Sometimes your Steam is too much, I guess, because every once in a while it will sputter out. What do you mean by that? Is it like, did I drop frames? Did I drop frames? Did I drop frames? Was it too much data? Not for me, not for me. Okay, let me know. Let me know if you guys see anything weird. Oh my god, that was a lot of damage. Holy crap. Blue Fang. Only dropping this fat beat. Can you say penguins? Penguins. Newt newt. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a quick break. Full screen. Alright, here we are. I was in that like 16:9 formatted screen, but we're back to it. I think that's my first X potion, isn't it? I'm about to run out of space again. Ambushed by a bunch of turtles. What's Rama look like? So you got, ooh, it changes the background? Oh, that's sick. Okay, alright, that's cool. That's real cool, actually. So you gotta think about what consoles actually had startup sounds, right? You're kind of like you're in that realm, but you gotta pick the ones that had startup sounds. Like Game Gear I don't think has a startup sound. I did that raid notification, that new raid notification, to kind of like, so it kind of, but I'm saying built into the console where you don't have to have a game in there to have it run, right? That's what I'm talking about. What I was getting ready to say was I made a third raid animation that some of you may have seen. Some of you may have seen. I don't know if you've all seen it, but oh crap. Who is this? Flamehound. Okay. We can deal with that. And I kind of gave some folks hints there. Oh shoot, do I need to change my weapon? I probably should heal. Yeah, let me heal real quick. I'm getting cooked over here. Sega made a bunch, yeah. Sega did make a bunch. The irony is, I've definitely played all of them before on stream. But, oh dang, that's a lot of damage. But, I kind of don't remember all of them, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Ifrit. What the heck? How much does Ifrit cost? Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Alright, brother. Yeah, thanks for coming by. I'm happy to see you around here. If you gotta get some rest, man. I have been streaming now for almost 3 hours, so I probably should end it as well. Ooh! Ooh! That was cool. I think my favorite so far is Ramu. Moo. I got a Phoenix down. Alright, let me go back. Rama. Oh, it's an egg. Get up, egg. Oh, so you're just a lizard. How cute. Take care. Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow Duel's lead and end the stream here. I was trying to get to like a save point, but actually I don't want to fight these guys. Trying to get to a save point. All right, I'm going backwards now, so I could go ahead and call it for the night and then come back to it later. Was it down here? Oh, I'm back down. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hello? Golly, dude. I don't want to, like... Alright, Killer Bow. Is that better than what you got? Okay. Is that better than Yoichi? Of course not. Yoichi's, like, busted. Why would I... Oh, the Killer Bow has, like, critical hit chance. Okay. Alright, I get it. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. Normally I would fight every battle, but like, the encounter rate is like insane. I never said this game was good at all. Ever. I don't know where you got that impression whatsoever. If anything, I heard this game was trash. So what I heard about this game, and I was kind of talking about it earlier. I guess you weren't in here when I was talking about it. So people have said that the Interlude games don't really have a reason to exist. the interlude, right? The game in between the game. The one that I'm playing right now is supposed to be like a short transitional period at the end of Final Fantasy IV, which is supposed to be like a year after Final Fantasy IV. That's going to lead to some point, to something. And then once you get to that story, then that's when the After Years comes out. And the After Years is the story that has to do with like Cecil's son, and like that's where they like extrapolate upon the existing characters and introduce new characters and yada yada. I don't know what Interlude was for, other than it was supposed to be the quote unquote bridge between the original game and the new game. But everything I've heard from everybody is basically said that this game is poorly paced. It's really just a bunch of rehashes of the original stages, which so far is pretty true. I'm going back through these original places I've been through on the previous game, and well, I got everything, man. And then like it really, you know, no one really knows why they did this. I guess I'll find out once I finish it, right? So at some point, you know, okay, let's look at it in context. I need more magic. She got no magic. Can I pull magic from that guy? So when everybody thinks about Final Fantasy sequels, what do y'all think about first and foremost? Games that are sequels to mainline games. Most people think about Final Fantasy VII, because by far Final Fantasy VII is like completely overly, like just unfairly represented in the space of sequels. You've had sequels for Final Fantasy 13. You've had sequels for Final Fantasy X. You've had sequels for, you've had a lot of sequels for Final Fantasy 7, like a lot. And it's kind of ridiculous if you're gonna ask me. But anyway, for some reason, somewhere along the way, Square thought, I believe the reason why they did it is the same reason why I always say it. A Final Fantasy IV was a large enough contingent's favorite game because of where it sat on the release schedule and what it meant to certain people who played it at the time. 4 was a lot of people's favorite game because it was 2 in America. And it was, yeah, it looks like a fan game. Durf Sonic, you're not wrong. It does feel that way. So I think Square thought at some point we should do a sequel to 4 because it's beloved by a large enough chunk of players that they might appreciate it. But the way they went about it is goofy. Like I think it was like on the Wii you could play a version of this game. On the PSP they did it probably just to fill out the catalog a little bit. And then obviously I'm playing this I'm playing the PSP version, and then they also have like a mobile version, right? And the way that they told the story, like for this one, it's pretty linear. It's like you are only allowed to go to the next area once you clear the previous area, and these are all revisits to areas you've been to on the previous game. To what end, I don't know. There's probably a story reason for it. And then the After Years is chapter based. You get to pick which character you play as in each chapter. So it's completely different, right? It's basically mobile first, which eventually got ported to console things, right? Dissidia runs like a PSP game, so however it ran on the PSP is how it runs on here on the PS TV. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced is a different game entirely. Also, Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced 2, so you know there's that. But anyway, yeah, I guess they thought at some point, you know, we need to do this. The Final Fantasy IV's fans are clamoring for additional story, and this resulted from it, I guess. And it's always, to me, it's always felt like a fan game. That it always felt like it was some kind of fan game that some person made, like a ROM hack, right? And I've never understood why they did it, and I never played it. So I figured, okay, I'm loaded up this PSP with so many games, so many bad boys on this PS TV, and I figured this would be a good excuse to like actually stream this on the stream. But like, no, I'm under no illusion that this game is a good game, because everything I've always heard about it was, the nicest things I've heard about it is that it was just stilted, like it is paced poorly, and the worst things I heard is that it's just a bad game. So I'm not gonna convince anybody that this is a good game. For me, it's a curiosity because Final Fantasy IV was one of my favorite games growing up. It's one of my favorite Final Fantasies for various reasons, but it's not. I'm under no illusions that like the game needed a sequel. Let's just put it that way. I don't think any mainline Final Fantasy game really needed a sequel, but ultimately, why do sequels get made? Is because the fans want them, right? I think that's pretty much. I think it's pretty much the thing. Good enough to stream? I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, you're talking to the guy who streamed the Sailor Moon PC Engine translation because somebody asked for it. That's who. Need I remind you? That's who you're talking to. You're talking to that guy. Someone said, "Hey, you should play this game." I said, "Okay, sure." Don't you forget it. That was a good night. We basically watched an episode of Sailor Moon. Alright. I think my time here is done for tonight. Strictly speaking, this is my second stream of this. My first stream was plagued with all sorts of technical issues and golly. But yeah, I haven't really spoiled myself on the story of this one. I think people were a lot more... Is there a way to exit out of this game from here? No, actually, no. I think people were a lot more... What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. I can't think of the name. They were a bit more gracious. Let's just say that. People were more gracious with the After Years game than they were the Interlude. Because again, I think this is quote unquote the Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection. I really need to look. I need to do research for myself. I remember when these games came out, and I remember thinking to myself, why did they do this? And I never really gave it a second thought. Because FF4 by itself is sort of like it's a microcosm of like the style of JRPG at the time. It was classic. it was classic.
Classics.
This is a rare Final Fantasy game.
A rare Final Fantasy game that is not an RPG. Classic.
Anyway, the story didn't really need any more expounding upon, right? The game was the game, but they made it, and so okay, fine. And I just sort of sat in the back of my head for 20 years, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm at the point where you can kind of see at the very bottom, it's a little cut off, but this came out 2011. So what, 15 years ago is when this came out? For some reason, maybe it was celebrating some kind of anniversary. There was some reason for it, I don't know why. And I know this got ported to the PSP, but it also got ported to the Wii, which I thought was kind of a strange thing. Like as a WiiWare release. So the scope was never really meant to be a mainline anything. If anything, it was kind of done as a side project, perhaps, that was living in that same universe of Final Fantasy games. And then they created it so that those particular consoles could have some type of representation in the Final Fantasy space. Maybe that was part of it, right? I couldn't tell you the reason why. I'm sure if you looked up like a Wikipedia article, they could tell you, oh, this game was created because of X, Y, and Z. And so yes, this is a blind spot. I've played every mainline Final Fantasy game, but these interludes and this After Years thing, I never did it, right? So I'm trying to find out. I'm playing it first and foremost to test the PSTV. Second, because of people like Durfsonic who didn't realize that this existed at all, right? That was the other thing. I share some of that wonder, like why is this a thing? And then third, because what else am I gonna play? Dissidia? I mean, get real, man. So yeah, there's the after years. This has its own like format where you can select the story, right? And this one is chapter based. There is no data because I haven't saved it. I would have to start a new game. But yeah, I know that this is chapter based because I have something else that's loaded on here. That's loaded on here. It's 2011. No, it's even older than that. Look at that, 2008. So that's when this came out, 2008. So it's even more ancient than I thought. This collection came out in 2011. So Interlude, okay, so we're figuring it out. The After Years was first conceived in 08, which means the After Years came out before the Interlude. And then they made the Interlude, I guess as a PSP thing, to quote-unquote make it the complete collection. So this is your bridge from the original game to the After Years, right? If we're going based solely on the copyright dates at the bottom of these games. And then Final Fantasy IV, the port to PSP, obviously the original game was 91. The first remake was in 2005, which that first remake was on PSP and also on the DS, Nintendo DS, and then 2011, which is when this collection came out. So I guess when they released the quote-unquote complete collection, they wanted some excuse to put some additional dev time to have something happen from the original game to the After Years. So this is why this one feels slipshod, kind of like unnecessary fan fiction, because it's just trying to fill in the gaps between their established first game, Final Fantasy IV, and the later game, Final Fantasy IV After Years. Now, again, all I know about Final Fantasy IV After Years, it features characters from the first game, and it features their children, and there's additional characters that come out, and it's got something to do with the dual moons. There's 2 moons in the sky, and it's chapter based. It's not a game like an RPG like a traditional Final Fantasy IV. It's chapter based on characters, and you select the character, and that character then goes and does their own stuff. And the reason why I know that is because alright, so I'm gonna get out of this PSP emulator. I'm still on my PSP, hold on. It's still scaled to my PSP scaling. This was the music that you were hearing the other day when we were playing Battlefield, Vector. Remember you were asking me about what music? This is what you were hearing. Alright, so they made cell phone versions, and the After Years got a cell phone version that was in 3D. It was not using 2D sprites. And I managed to make it run on the PS Vita. So how's that? How's them apples? Here, you can select the tail. And these are all the characters. This is everybody you can play as. But you gotta play them in order. Now, I have not tried this yet. I don't know how well this actually runs. This is technically a cell phone game that they managed to make work on the PS Vita by porting it somehow using the Android APK system. Now, it's technically a cell phone game, so it's got touch-based stuff, right? But they somehow managed to make it work with the control, all right? Now, my plan was, once I finished Interlude on PSP, I was going to give the 3D version of this game a try by playing the Vita port of the Android phone game. Because this game is supposed to be in 3D, and this game is also supposed to have voice acting. At least according to what I understand. So, I'm planning on playing this one later when I get to it. But you can see that it's chapter based, right? So you've got the original characters, but then you've got like people like Theodore, which I guess is the kid of what's his face, the Crystal's Planet Eater, Lunarians. Yeah, that's all spoilers, baby. So that's that.